They restored a castle. They captured our attention. And they made HGTV history. But who exactly are Daphne Reckert and Figueira? And why is HGTV being so quiet about their past? From off-camera controversies to secrets HGTV never aired, today, we're exposing the untold backstory of Castle Impossible's leading duo, and why fans are now questioning everything they thought they knew. This is the real story behind the story. When Castle Impossible premiered, viewers were immediately hooked. The setting? A centuries-old French castle. The mission? Restore it from crumbling ruins to timeless grandeur. But the real stars weren't just the walls or the windows. It was the couple at the center of it all. Daphne Reckert, an American designer with European roots and quiet confidence, and Figueira, a filmmaker turned construction project manager with an eye for impossible tasks. Together, they seemed like a dream team. On camera, they had synergy, they juggled budgets, beams, and broken plumbing, without ever losing their cool. But off camera, there's more to their story than HGTV ever showed. If you watched all 8 episodes, you probably noticed something missing. HGTV gave us the castle, they gave us the drama, but they gave us very little about Daphne and Ian themselves. No deep dive into their history, no origin story, not even how they met. Why? Was it intentional editing or something the couple asked for? A quick pause. If you want to stay updated on all things HGTV, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. All right, let's jump back in. Here's what we found. Let's start with Figueira. Before Castle restoration, he had a very different life. Ian spent years working in the film and television industry. He wasn't just behind the scenes, he was a showrunner, director, and producer. In fact, he worked on commercials, documentaries, and scripted TV projects before ever picking up a hammer. So, how does a filmmaker end up rebuilding a French castle? That's the mystery. HGTV barely mentions it. But according to European property forums, Ian left the industry after a major burnout around 2019. He reportedly said he wanted something real to work on, something tangible. Enter Chateau de Tille. And what about Daphne Reckert? HGTV promoted her as a designer, but they didn't explain where she studied, where she trained, or what firm she worked for. Here's what we uncovered. Daphne actually has a background in psychology, not interior design. She reportedly studied in the US and moved to Europe in her early 30s. There, she slowly started renovating small countryside homes, self-taught, trial by fire. By the time she and Ian took on the castle, they had already done 4 smaller renovation projects together. But none of that made it into the show. Why? Because it's not polished. It doesn't fit the classic HGTV mold. But in truth, their lack of traditional credentials makes what they pulled off even more impressive. So now we have 2 self-taught renovators with unconventional backgrounds, taking on €1 million castle in the middle of rural France. That alone should have been the headline, but HGTV left most of it out. Instead, the show focused on the castle itself, the logistics, the budget, the weather. Why? Insiders say HGTV made an editorial decision to remove most of their personal history during post-production. The reason? It slowed the pacing of the show's renovation narrative. But fans noticed. Reddit threads popped up asking, why don't we know more about these 2? Are they actually qualified? Did HGTV purposely leave out their backstory? The answer? Yes. There's another layer. According to property restoration blogs, Daphne and Ian nearly backed out of the project midway through filming. A close family member of Daphne's was hospitalized, and she briefly left the site. This emotional episode was completely edited out of the final cut. And in episode 5, when tensions rose over the heating system failing, what you didn't see was the couple having a serious on-camera disagreement about continuing. In the final show, that conflict was smoothed over, shortened, and barely mentioned. HGTV wanted charm and tension, not real personal breakdowns. But to fans, this edit felt like a cover-up of the emotional stakes. Viewers also questioned Daphne and Ian's relationship. Are they married, engaged, business partners? HGTV never said. And it turns out, this was a boundary set by the couple themselves. According to a now-deleted Instagram comment, Daphne said, "We are focused on the project. The rest is not for TV." But some fans found that answer evasive. The lack of labels sparked speculation. Some wondered if HGTV preferred the ambiguity, so viewers could project their own stories. Either way, this blurred the line between reality and performance, and left many fans feeling like they still didn't know the real Daphne and Ian. So what happened after the series ended? That's where things get even more curious. Despite strong viewership, HGTV hasn't confirmed a season 2. Daphne and Ian have continued work on the castle, but without cameras. Their social media posts dropped off. No press interviews, no post-season wrap-ups. Some fans even asked, did they fall out with HGTV? We have no confirmation, but the silence is loud. In fan groups and forums, viewers are still uncovering clues. Property records showing when Daphne and Ian purchased the castle, business registrations for their French renovation company, screenshots of deleted scenes teased in early promos. It's clear, fans want more. They want the full story, and they're not buying the polished HGTV version anymore. Daphne Reckert and Figueira pulled off something remarkable. They took on an impossible renovation. They made it beautiful, and they let the world watch. But the version we saw? It wasn't the whole truth. Behind every shot of sunlight hitting stained glass was a story HGTV chose not to tell. Whether it was editing choices, network strategy, or personal boundaries, viewers were left with more questions than answers. And maybe that's what makes Castle Impossible so fascinating. It's not just about saving stone walls. It's about what's hidden behind them. So, what do you think? Did HGTV purposely hide Daphne and Ian's true story? Would you watch a season 2 that dives deeper into their personal lives? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more behind-the-scenes truths about your favorite HGTV shows, subscribe, hit that like button, and tap the bell so you never miss what HGTV won't tell you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.